Welcome to Rewatch and Rank. On this channel, we rewatch older TV shows, provide a summary and opinion on the episode before ranking each episode against each other. Today's episode is Naruto Prologue / Land of Waves arc, Episode 3, Sasuke and Sakura, Friends or Foes. Episode in a nutshell is a brief summary of what happens. So the episode begins with Naruto drinking bad milk in the morning before heading off to his orientation, as it is the day he's officially starting his role as a working ninja. On his way, he does run into Konohamaru, who adorably trips, says that it makes Naruto great because he's blaming Naruto for him tripping, challenges him to a duel, but then Naruto reveals that he is now officially a ninja, and Konohamaru is adorably awestruck. And Naruto then continues on his way. When he arrives, Shikamaru questions whether he's actually supposed to be there, but Naruto again points to his headband and is like, obviously I am. I graduated. Look at my headband. And he sits next to Sasuke. Sakura, on her way to school, ends up running into Ino. They then have a competition on who can get to the classroom first. When they arrive, they both think they win, and then Sakura makes a beeline for Sasuke, pushing Naruto out of the way. And Sasuke basically ignores Sakura's existence. Naruto decides that he needs to know what's so special about Sasuke and gets on the desk and crouches in front of him, only to be knocked over by another student, where they fall together lip first. Then, of course, Naruto is tragically beaten by all the girls, who are jealous that he got to kiss Sasuke. Then, of course, Iruka comes in, assigns all of the teams, and they make a special note of only really telling us the names of Team 7, 8, and 10. And of course, Sakura, Naruto, and Sasuke all end up on Team 7 together. They are then dismissed for lunch because they'll meet their Jonin senseis after that. And Naruto decides he's going to attack Sasuke, which he manages to do by using the shadow clones that Sasuke does not expect him to be able to use. And then he disguises himself as Sasuke to go and basically find out what Sakura thinks of him because he has a crush on her and she called him annoying earlier, so he knows she won't talk to him. They then talk about how Sakura thinks Naruto is annoying, and then she says that she would do anything for Sasuke to notice her before trying to kiss him. Luckily, because of the bad milk, Naruto has to flee before he can take advantage of her in Sasuke's form, and runs to the washroom where he has a bit of a bathroom emergency. Then, while he's sitting on the toilet, he decides that because Sakura likes Sasuke so much, he's going to go and play an obnoxious Sasuke to get her to hate him. And Sasuke comes along and is obnoxious enough on his own that Naruto needn't bother, and he basically calls Sakura annoying and tells her, basically get out of my face, especially after she comments on the fact that Naruto's so annoying because he doesn't have parents, forgetting the fact that neither does Sasuke, so obviously he's upset about that, and he walks off to go and try to find Naruto, looking for his revenge. Sakura then feels really bad because she's like, wow, I was just called annoying, I called Naruto annoying, this must be how Naruto felt, I must make an effort to be nicer. So when Naruto comes back around, she tries and fails to smile at him, but Naruto thinks that she is Sasuke playing a trick on him by pretending to be Sakura and basically accuses her of such before his stomach once again acts up and he runs back to the bathroom. As he leaves the bathroom again, he finally runs into Sasuke. He then decides to try to fight him, makes a bunch of Sat Shadow clones, but before they can actually have their fight, once again, his stomach starts acting up because he drank bad milk, and he and his clones fight to get into the bathroom, and Sasuke is so, like, this guy is a buffoon. He just turns around and walks away, not even trying to go for his revenge anymore. And then we go to where the Hokage has entered Naruto's apartment with Kakashi, and they're looking at the environment Naruto lives in as an orphan, and Kakashi picks up the milk, noting that it is well past the expiry date. And that's what happens in this episode. Now that we've been reminded about what happened in the episode or the main plot points of this episode, it's now time to rank the episode. And as always, we'll rank first on the mostly objective ranking list, followed by the personal ranking list. So first off, we have our multi-arc supporting character introductions. And we have Kotetsu Hagane, Izumo Kamizuki, and they are two Chunin who work with the Hidden Leaf. Then we have Raido Namiyashi and Tonbo Tobataki, who are Jonin, who show up occasionally kind of as supporting characters throughout the series. And then we have our team senseis, so of Team 7, oh no, not Team 7, sorry. Team 10 is Asuma Sarutobi, and then of Team 8, Kurenai Yuhi. Then we have, and they're all worth 3 points, I should point out. Then we have third points for the impactful / memorable moment line, etc. And of course, Naruto and Sasuke sharing an accidental kiss. Very memorable. So memorable and talked about, in fact, that it is mentioned in most of the fan fiction that I have personally read. And also in one of the filler episodes in the future, they go ahead and recreate it in a different way because it was just that much of an impact, or it had that much of an impact. That's also worth 3 points. Then we have 4 points for our multi-arc main character introduction, and this, of course, is the leader of Team 7, which is Kakashi Hatake. Then we have our multi-arc main character development, and this is where we learn that Sasuke is the top rookie in the class, Naruto's the bottom, and that Sasuke is the sole survivor of his family. Or at least that's what they would like us to believe at this point. Next, we have 4 points for some world building. One of those is the fact that the body replacement technique is seen for the first time. I didn't attribute this to a character's growth because it is a very generalized jutsu that pretty much everybody knows, one of the academy taught jutsu, so it's not really something that I would say should be attributed to one character. It's not a signature technique of any kind or a like a Kekai Genkai or something like that that's only certain families or anything. It's very general. So I put it in world building. And then additional world building is the teams being assigned. So Team 7, Kakashi with Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. Team 8, Shino, Kiba, and Hinata. And of course, they will be under Kurenai, which is... So in this episode, we do meet Kurina, Asuma, and Hatake Kakashi. They are basically watching the Hokage's like crystal ball to see the classroom as the team is assigned, but the teams have not yet met them. So I am attributing them to their teams in advance because I know the future because it is a rewatch. I just wanted to point that out. And then 10, of course, is under Asuma with Shikamaru, Choji, and Ino. We then have our negative messaging or behaviors worth -2 points. First off, we have Naruto attacking a fellow student and then tying them up in the case of Sasuke. We have identity theft, him stealing Sasuke's identity and turning into him. Then we have a violation of Sakura's consent or ability to consent. She thinks she's talking to Sasuke. She nearly kisses Naruto as Sasuke. Had she had the facts, all of the facts that she needed, she never would consent to that. So had it occurred, it definitely would have been a violation. Luckily, the bathroom break was timely and nothing did occur. And I also acknowledge the fact that this is pure fiction, and as in reality, there is no way to actually assume someone's identity physically. It is not something that would be in danger of happening in reality, so there's a certain level of there are also innocent children involved, but I still think it's an icky thing altogether. And then just the general pay attention to expiry dates so you don't get food poisoning moral message. Well, not moral, but What is it? Like with a parable when it teaches you a life lesson. Anyways, life lesson taught. Pay attention to expiry dates. Either way, even with the negatives, does not overtake or override the score of all of the positive points earned in this episode, so it is a 10 out of 10. Which brings our arc ranking so far for the mostly objective ranking. In first, we have Enter Naruto Uzumaki, followed by Sasuke and Sakura, Friends or Foe, which is this episode, and then in third, My Name is Konohamaru. Now on the personal side, I thought the episode was funny. I think Konohamaru is still adorable. I think it was also funny the multiple toilet breaks due to the expired milk. I do think all of the misunderstandings with the Team 7 passing each other by was in its own way to a certain level comedic. However, ultimately I did feel like the plot was pretty slow moving. It was a way to like kind of introduce us to the characters, but both Sasuke and Sakura kind of came off as like not great characters. I mean, Sakura was extremely rude to Naruto, extremely fangirly to Sasuke. Naruto tried to violate Sakura's, right to consent by not letting her know that it was him and almost letting her kiss him as Sasuke and deciding that the things, even though she said bad things to him about him as Sasuke, he still liked her even more because of how she liked Sasuke, which made no sense to me at all. Ridiculous. And then, of course, Sasuke just is a jerk and he stays a jerk throughout the series. And honestly, there were several occasions where like Naruto was like, what do they see about like this guy? Like, why do they like guys like that? And I'm like, same Naruto. I don't get why people like Sasuke. I think he's a jerk. I think he's awful, except when he's interacting with Naruto as best friends. But even then, he's a jerk to Naruto too. And then, like, he's definitely not worth the years that Naruto goes through in the future surrounding his issues. Like, nowhere near worth it, in my opinion. Like, don't like that subplot at all. Um, and then again, like he's a jerk to Sakura because he doesn't like her. And to be fair, Sakura is like a fangirl towards him and acts like she has a right to his feelings, which no person has a right to anybody else's feelings. So I feel like he's kind of valid in, pushing her away and being like a little bit like trying to not interact with her because she's clearly, doesn't take a hint. But then again, you have Sakura who hates Naruto because he has a crush on her and is incredibly hypocritical because literally she goes out of the classroom and is like, oh, well, now that I'm on a team with Sasuke, I can eat with him. And then Naruto comes over and is like, hey, now that we're on a team, let's eat together. And she's like, you're so annoying. I don't want to eat with you. And it's like, you think Sakura, like, but yet you feel entitled that Sasuke will eat with you because you're on the same team. So basically the exact same logic, but she ignores it. The fact that she's so willing to put out like a kiss for Sasuke, but then badmouths Naruto and hates Naruto. And it's like, Naruto has a crush on her. She's annoyed by that, yet she'll be annoying towards Sasuke, who she has a crush on, and then get insulted like when he calls her annoying. And it's like, very much, very much hypocritical. And so, yeah, none of them really come off that great, except for Konohamaru, who's adorable. Um, and he tripped after hiding poorly. So adorable. Anyways, the point that I'm making is very annoying. All of these characters do not come off well in this particular episode, but also there were comedic bits and everything, and it was acting like kind of an introduction to their dynamics, and I know that their dynamics over time will change, so it's starting like the bad beginning, which will grow, and because I have that foreknowledge, I am a little bit more forgiving of it to a certain extent, but I did rank this the lowest so far, and I gave it a 6. Positives, the comedy, Konohamaru, the negatives, how the characters came off in the episode. So, that being said, in first we of course have My Name is Konohamaru, Enter Naruto Uzumaki in second, and then this episode, last place so far, Sasuke and Sakura, Friends or Foe. Bringing us now to the series ranking so far, and this arc has a score of 28 out of a possible 100. on the mostly objective ranking, and then a score of 20 out of a possible 100 on the personal ranking. But with that, we've now rewatched and ranked Naruto Prologue/Land of Waves arc, Episode 3, Sasuke and Sakura, Friends or Foes? Like and subscribe if you'd like to, and I'll see you in the next episode.